Oops. Hold on. No picture. Almost there. All right. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my photo editing live stream where you can submit your images before the stream begins, and I edit them here live using Olympus Workspace for the Olympus cameras, and every other camera I use Lightroom. So let's see, let me get off that screen. There we go. So let's see who's here. DeMorgan's back. Dave, Jack Neck, hello. Dave Nelson, Dawid, good to see you. Anne, always good to see you. And thank you, Anne. I was running my stuff this morning, and I saw in an email that you sent a donation. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. And Randy's here. DeMorgan, good. Stephen Page. All right, so Matt's here. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's see. The first, where's my button? This one? Okay, very good. Hello, Garrett. Good to see you. Yeah, you've been recently submitting images as well. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. We'll go ahead and start with, let me get rid of this window here and make sure that's minimized. Okay. Danny Drake, good to see you. Serge, hello. And we'll start here with an image from Serge. And it looks like we used, what did you use today, Serge? EM10 Mark II. Awesome. So you stopped shooting Fuji for a day? Serge is always sending in images from his Fuji X100 or X20 that he sold. But anyway, 40 to 150. Yeah, that's a great lens. The plastic fantastic. 89 millimeter f8, 1/200th, ISO 200, single AF, anti-shock, all that good stuff. So all good settings. No complaints there. So let's see. Compositionally, let's see how much detail we got here. Very good. Nice fog in the background. So I think what I'll do is, I'm not going to worry about this reflection down here. Sometimes the reflections are kind of nice, but let me see what a vertical looks like and come in tight. Oh, I like the trees though. I like the trees better than the swan. The trees in the fog. If I come in too tight though, there may not be enough detail left to kind of still get a good clean image. Let me straighten it slightly. Give it a little breathing room. All right, I think I'll go with that. And I think we still captured the kind of the mood of the scene. I just need a little bit of dehaze. I wish I could do it a little more selectively like I can in Lightroom, but let's just add a little bit here. Maybe a little less. Okay. And let me do it this way. There we go. All right, and then I can get rid of the haze altogether. Now a little bit. Let me try clarity instead. Wow, workspace is really crawling today. Okay, that helped. All right, so I'm going to crank in some color. And I mean, I might have to do a pop art filter, which I effectively, I didn't put my timer on, but you're killing it. The foggy mood. I don't know. There's still fog back here, Walter. Let me just look at the before and after. This looks the same to me. We're just closer in. Let me look at this tree. Yeah, right here where the fog is, I think we're still good. I can back it off a little bit, but I mean that looks like I don't like that. I need a little more. Like I said, if I could selectively fix the fog here, I would, but I cannot. I'll back it off a little bit. All right. Because now it looks like just a hazy picture, which that's all I'm gonna do. I can't. I can't deal with this part being foggy. I don't mind. This is still foggy enough to me. Let me straighten it out a little more. And, you know, if I can add a little negative vignette, that might help with the fog effect. Let's see. Let's crank up the sharpness. And I don't know, if I do that, and I'll take the vignette back off, but I think if I do that, it just doesn't, I like the white vignette. I'll just back off the vignette a little bit more. I think it's just too soft this way. I might as well do a soft focus if I'm going to go with this. All right, I got to end it there. Let's do a before and after. Wow, controversial edit, but I stand by it. I think I still it's rendering a little bit more, but I think I still kept the fog pretty well. I'm just cropped in really tight so you don't see the fog quite as much because we're much closer. And just a light vignette just to kind of enhance the overall foggy feel, I think. I think if this were my image, I would definitely be much higher contrast than what's here. Because I can't deal with the swan being soft. It just, I don't like it. But okay. Still, great image, Serge. Really nice. You know, just, I think that crop works, the way I cropped it, I think works pretty well. You just have to adjust the fog to taste, basically. Yeah, I'd like to see your edit. I'm curious what you did. All right, let's see what we got here. We have a macro shot, probably 60 macro lens, right? Oh my God, a kit lens, maybe extension tubes then. because you don't get this close to strawberries without some, with the kit lens on its own. So this got to be with extension tubes or something. Because EM10 Mark II with a 14 to 42 kit lens and 42 f9. Good, good. Probably used a flash too. Because at f9 with extension tubes, oh, you're at ISO 1600. So yeah, you had to do, maybe you didn't need flash then because you cranked the ISO. But okay, not much to do here. Let's try a, I mean, the color's already very rich, but let's see what happens when I do that. Yeah, that's too much. So let's just add a tiny bit more saturation, then play with the tone curve. I gotta learn to embrace the lack of clarity. I love fog, but not when there's a subject in there, like a duck or a geese, or what was that thing? A swan? I gotta see the swan. If the swan filled the frame more, I would have probably kept some more of the fog, but my eyes are bad enough already. Let me see if I can increase the speculars with clarity. Yeah. And then we'll crank up the sharpness. Oh, not that much. This is a JPEG, so I'm a little bit, I don't have to do as much sharpness. This JPEG sharpens it a tiny bit already. Make the reds a little brighter. Let's go to red here. Just shift it a little more red. Let's pull the greens. And that's it. Not much to edit here. It's already cropped in and processed really well. Oh, thank you for the update, Dave. So before and after, if you can even see any difference, really all I did was raise the brightness and added some clarity to, you know, bring out the speculars on the leafy part here. And you can see a little bit more detail now, I think, in the shot. So good job with the extension tubes. I'm pretty sure you use flash on this or some kind of artificial lighting. Very subtle edit. Good job. Okay, let's do the next one. And we have from Arecibo, Pueblo, 25. This is Jose. And he used what? EM1 Mark II with a 14 to 42 kit at 24 millimeters, f8, 1/8. Wow, slow. You really wanted ISO 200 to work, I see. I'd have probably gone a little higher on the ISO, but like maybe f5.6 and ISO 800, then had like a 160 shutter speed. Because that's, unless you're on a tripod, that's hard to hand hold. Because there's a little motion blur on the guy's head, which no big deal. Okay. Najam says, I try to use ISO 200. Yeah, so do I, all the time, definitely. But I, 1/8 of a second, I don't know if I could deal with it. I'm not that steady, unless I'm on a tripod. Lots of good detail here. I think the framing, I think a vertical will work again here. And then just come in tighter. Weird, this rock is crooked and this guy is leaning into the rock, so it just looks a little bit off. All right, let me try this one filter and see. Yeah, that's not terrible. but it really crushed the blacks on the background, so I don't want that. Let me try gradation, and let me try that filter one more time. Nope, we'll leave it. And shot and muted. Let's try vivid. Let's crank up the saturation even more. And let's warm it up. Maybe 7,500, give or take. And need some sharpening. ISO 200, we don't need a noise filter. Dave says go wide. Lauren says no. Man, you guys are harsh. Let me add some dehaze for the clouds and some clarity for the clouds. I will try wide. I'll come back to the composition. And let's push, let's see, this guy is all in the dark. The rocks are in the middle. The trees are, I need to push this up, right? Whoops. I'm on the green channel. Steve says use all of the image. Okay, all right, I'll go back and recompose it. Let's try that and just pull this in a tad. All right, I have some time to look at some other compositions here. Let's try 16:9. Come in a little tighter off the left. And it's just too much water here. Let's try a 4:3 and come in, even the guy out a little bit. Still too much water. This is my problem with the wide crop. It's way too much water. So getting down lower would have been better if I was going to do a wide crop. Because yeah, this is too much water. That's why I changed it. I mean, there's a bridge over here. Oh, I'm out of time. So I'm going to go back to my original crop. I like this best. It minimizes just the ton of water in the scene. I think I was somewhere there. Okay, let's see. There's the before and after. So the processing, you know, is really just white balance and bringing up the shadows, right? Add some sharpening and we're done. And then the water at 1/8 of a second just looks a little weird, like, you know, because there's just a tiny bit of motion there. So that may be another reason not to go with 1/8 of a second on a scene like this. You know, you avoid the motion blur on the person, but also the weird look of the water. It just looks a little bit odd to me. A faster shutter speed would have been nice, if possible. I know it's really dark and cloudy there. It looks like it's twilight almost. And as far as the composition, yeah, the water, there's just too much water to go wide. In my mind. Just too heavy. And maybe the leaves up top help. I mean, the only other composition I would consider is like taking the guy out altogether and doing a wide like this, you know, something like that maybe. that would be the only other. And then what I would do is work on the highlights, because there's some nice yellows in here. I bring this down like so, and then I would just push the shadows a bit more. But you get the idea. I mean, there's some beautiful colors here in the sky that are worth saving, right? All right, this one is I have to do in Lightroom, and let's do this one. So this one is from Gilbert. This is pretty much processed and done already. It's just a little bit too yellow for me. And is there any EXIF? Yeah, EM1X with a 12 to 40 Pro, 16 millimeter f2.8 1/10. Wow, really slow on the shutters. You guys are really good at this. And you had to be at ISO 2000. Wow. All right, so what I would do with this one, very simple, is just add or just cool it off a tiny bit. Maybe a little more. Just so there's a little more contrast, and then pull off some of the greens with magenta. That's not working. Let me try it. Let me try it with a color wheel. Let's see, let's hue, let's push the greens to be more yellow. It's very subtle, isn't it? How about this green? Pull the screen that way. Hmm. What about a black and white? Maybe. There it is. This is the green I need to shift. And then there's some very, very minor keystoning error there, but that's okay. I think pull this off. Just a slight push in the shadows this way. Like I said, it's a JPEG, so I'm not going to have a lot of wiggle room. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to push it too much. All right, that's it. The only other option, somebody wanted to see monochrome. So there's the monochrome. And I would, of course, just crank in some dehaze. And then a red filter to bring the fire engine up. And then I probably wouldn't need this quite as much. So there's a black and white. Then add a vignette, right? So there's black and white. And then to go back to color is simple enough. And there's the color. So let's do a before and after here. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Where's my... Let me push this a little bit more. All right, let's look at the before and after. So yeah, it was just basically too warm on the left side for me. So I wanted to get the fire engine to look more red, and then the outside is okay. It's a little bit, it looks a little better. I need to pull the magenta back off. Just a tiny bit. And we're good. So I think that's a little better. Oh, I pulled the shadows down when I went to black and white. And dehaze. Let me turn that off. Push the shadows a bit. There. Now that's the color version. Finally. I think that's better. And then the black and white look good too, but since we have all these great colors, I think that looks better in color. All right. Oh, that's from before. All right. A little bit soft here, Lauren. What was your? I guess you're focusing on the stick because the stick is fine. It's nice and sharp. What did you use this time? Canon EOS RP with the kit lens at 46mm f8 1/320. So good settings, but this is gosh, the details are a little soft. So your point of focus was like this leaf is almost there. I don't think there's much I can do here. I would just push the colors up a little bit. I mean the shadows, right? And I think I need to desaturate. Let me do it selectively. Let me desaturate some of the red. Whoops, that's hue. And then crank up the yellow and green and blue and pull the luminance on the blue down, the hair. Let me just throw in about 4 on the sharpness. And pull off a little more red. Okay, I think, yeah, so that's about all the sharpness I can add without really jacking up the grain. Okay, that's it. Good clean shot. So there's the before and after. I just basically brightened it up a little bit, you know, and then pulled the reds back because it's a little bit rich for my taste. And there's nothing to crop. If there was some sharpness in the image, I could crop in more. But it's just a little bit soft all the way around. I'm not sure why. But okay. Oh, okay, Lauren. So that helped a little bit, right? I mean, you can take that as far as you want in your own editing, I guess, right? You can play with these reds. They really need to be a little bit brighter. Maybe push it just a tiny. There we go. That's better. Now look at the before and after. I bet we can even see more detail. No, not really, but yeah, a little bit brighter. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we have a lot today. I gotta go faster. We have the EM10 Mark II with an 8mm fisheye. 1.8, 1/6000. Wow, I would have shot this like at f4. I don't think you needed f8, but okay, image writer. Let's try some gradation first. Oh, you're already on auto. Let me make sure that's on. Yeah, it's already on. So we're gonna have to push. Let me pull the exposure down to save the highlights. And then I will push the shadow. Let me save this. Rob needs an audible alarm, maybe some GNR. What are you talking about, Dave? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to save the highlights here. Uh, so I'll just bring it down just a little bit and then push the shadows. Yeah, compositionally, the problem is the handlebars are cutting off the horizon. Let me try dramatic tone in black and white. Yeah, and color, I don't think it's going to make much difference, but let's try it. Yeah, I like black and white. I'm sorry, color. It's jacking up the sky too much, though. All right, so let's go with that. And then let me reset the tone curve. Push it up in a little different way. Oh my goodness, thank you, Randy. I really appreciate that. Um, go with that and then pull it a little this way. No, it's not the lens. It's, you know, the lens just distorts things, but it's not causing things to be in the wrong, you know, where they are. They are where they are. If this is blocking the horizon, it doesn't matter what lens you're using. Let me add some vignette and some, let me see if the haze helps a little bit. Trying to get a little more detail in the foreground. Turn off the noise filter. And compositionally with a fisheye, if I defish this, the bike is going to look very distorted. I'll just show you real quick. Where's my fisheye? It's yeah, here it is. I'll just show you it. If I defish this, see what it does to the bike? So that's why I'm not going to defish it. It would just look really too weird. So I got 20 seconds. Let me see if there's any composition here that might lend itself to the bike. I think that works. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I mean, maybe let me go back to color again. I did like the colors a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with color. Okay. So before and after. Sorry, yes, that's what I meant. The fisheye did the horizon. Yeah, the horizon's being bent by the fisheye, definitely. But I can't straighten it, obviously. But yeah, basically the dramatic tone filter really does a good job at bringing the shadows up in a way that I can't do on my own, at least not in workspace. And the way I cropped it, it cropped out all of the weirdness that the dramatic tone did to the sky. So I think now it looks pretty good. Look what it did for the clouds over here. It did a really good job. And these highlights are gone, obviously, so I think that looks good. And I just cropped off all this extraneous ends here. We don't need any of that. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Oh, thanks, guys. You like that now, huh? Okay. This is from Fred Bunk. And we have an Oldfield lighthouse. And we used a EM1X with a 7-14 Pro, 9 millimeters. F16, that's too high. You could have done this at like F8, I think. And then used a lower ISO and a faster shutter speed, all that good stuff. That's the only change I would make. Like I said, I get it. You can't always Like I shot at ISO 800 all day yesterday when I could have been shooting at ISO 200 because I wasn't paying attention. But if you made this, because you know when you're shooting at f/16, you can see sensor spots and stuff a lot easier, like up in here. Uh, but I like this tree line here on the left, so I'm going to stick with that. Let me try vertical. I can work with that tree line. Let's do square over here. Oh, I'm gonna lose this tree, so I gotta stay 4x3 or go wider. Maybe like that. I love this tree over here. I'm going to see if I can recover some of the shadows while I'm here. Crank up the saturation. Let's warm it up a little bit more and go with some sharpness. Filters are off, good. And I'm gonna try, let me try 3x2. And just come over a little bit. All right, we got to fix this distortion here. The building is crooked, but if we can bring that up a little bit. And then a slight tilt. All right, my eye is not working well today. I need to keystone this. Almost there. And a slight tilt. Go back and keystone just a little bit more. All right, that's good. Close enough for... Close enough. I need a little more breathing room on the right. And all right, so white balance is decent. I need a little more push in the shadows. Oh, we were in muted color profile. Let me try natural, but I may have to back off the saturation. Maybe not. Let's add some clarity to see if we can bring out, well, let me do sharpness. I did that, so I have to try clarity. I want to bring out a little more detail in the stonework on the home. Or this, sorry, it's a lighthouse. That's getting there. Let that render. The problem is it's adding some grit to the grass also, which I'm not liking that part, but that's okay. So I need some very targeted work on the tone curve. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, let's end it there. And there's the before and after. So yeah, I think definitely you have to get in closer because the lighthouse is really nice, and because you're so far away, I'm not able to recover a lot of that stonework, which, you know, the texture in the stonework. I can see I still need to do a little work on the keystoning, but definitely that tree, the trees on the left side are gorgeous, and it's a beautiful way to lead your eye into the scene, I think, as well as the clouds. So it's really a great, great image. It just, you had to be a little bit closer, is all. So, all right. Dave says you would have done 16 by 9. Maybe. Maybe. Let me try that. I mean, this is crop out all the sensor spots. I mean, this works just as well, really. I think either one is fine. I like it not, I don't like it quite this wide. I don't think this scene lends itself to a 16 by 9 as well. But okay. Let's go to the next one. And we have one here from Randy. Oh, that's a cool looking truck. Let's see, we did an EM1, 7 to 14, 11 millimeter f5.6. Yep, solid settings there. Center weighted. You did some bracketing, it looks like. No image stabilization, so you must have been on a tripod. All right, so we definitely have... Let's see. Man, amazing detail. It's a great lens. I mean, I was able to pull out any rock detail at all on the last image because he was using the same lens. This needs to be tilted and keystoned at the same time, just like the last one. So let me... I just want the center of the truck to be straight. So what I mean by that is this line right here. So that looks straight now. Now it just needs some keystoning. So I might have to tilt it some more after keystoning. Yeah, just a slight tilt back. All right, close enough. Be here all day trying to fix that. And then as far as the crop, oh, let's keep it 4:3. Let's just come in a little tighter. Maybe we don't need to see. See the whole back end. I don't like that cone. Yeah, I wish I could have cropped this cone out, but I don't want to get in that tight. There, and we're cropping out the power lines too. All right, that's good. I think that makes sense. And then processing wise, we'll just crank some sharpness. Let's try auto gradation. Let's see what's in the shadows. That's fine. And then we'll pull it back a little bit this way, a little bit that way. Let's play with the tones, the individual color tones. I'm going to pull this. Let's push this up and pull this down. Ugh, too much. It's the greens. What if I do that here? Then the reds I did, the blues. Let's a slight pull here. Like pushing the highlights for the sky. I don't like what happened to the reds of the truck though. Back to red. Yeah, I like it. I liked it a little bit brown. And then oh, I'm out of time. All right, so we'll end it there. Uh okay, so yeah, I think on the crop, the main thing is the crop here, right? We unfortunately we it'd be nice to get the whole crane or lift on the back end, but I wouldn't have composed it this way if I wanted to get that whole thing in. I would have stood further back. I know you're there with a wide angle lens, so you can't stand too far back. So I like that you got really close to the image, but I would have used a longer lens and went further back to get the whole truck in. But since you're with this wide angle lens, your only choice really is to get in even closer so you can see all the details on the truck. And then the color processing, just a taste. Whatever looks good. But I think, man, you captured so much detail in this image. It's really nice. Should have shot it from the front. Yeah, I would have. I'm surprised you didn't. I'm sure you got like 20 shots of this truck, right? But yeah, I would have shot this with a longer lens and then shot from the front, all different angles to see it. But this from the back is not bad, right? You get this really cool sign in there. All right. Oh, my neck is still a little bit stiff. Let's see. This one is from Elaine. She's probably asleep now because she was half asleep in the last stream. She was like, I'm going to close my eyes and listen. I know you're gone by now, right, Elaine? If you're here, I would be very surprised. But anyhow, it looks like a picture from your car. So you're like waiting at a stoplight. What did you use? Probably no, oh my goodness, there's exit data. EM5 with a 45mm f5, 1/800th. Yep, good settings. Color-wise, it's just a little bit soft, probably because you're going through a car. Man, that guy is not happy or thinking about something hardcore. Compositionally, yeah, I'm going to go definitely vertical on this and crop out all of this information that tells people you were shooting this from your car. And just focus on just the subject, and it needs to be straightened. And the colors are way off on this somehow. I don't know, just a little bit warmer. Like that. And then just for you, Elaine, I'll throw in a heavy vignette. Let's work with bring this up a bit. Just give it a little more punch. Like so. And a little more straightening and we're done. All right, so let's do a before and after. There is one more thing. Let's just crank the sharpness up to about a 5. All right, now let's compare. So yeah, you know, when you're shooting through a car window, you lose contrast, you use a little bit of sharpness. So I just tried to bring some of that back. I could do more with clarity or something, but and then I just added some contrast to and warmed it up. And I think that the picture on, you can't, I'm like jibber jabbering and I'm blocking the picture. But I think the picture on the right now eliminates everything about how you took the picture. Like you took this from your car through a car window. So now it looks like a picture, you know, it looks like a street photo other than maybe doing a black and white, which I've never seen you do a black and white, but I would consider black and white with a heavy dehaze. Um, like this and a little bit of clarity. A little more. This is another direction to go, right? Is with black and white. All right. That's cool. Oh wow, Matt. This is cool. You got some birds in here. Slightly missed there, slightly missed. This is probably motion blur. What's your shutter speed here? 1/250th. That's why. Your ISO 640. That's contributing too, and this here one. Yeah, wide open. And you added exposure comp. That was a good call. It would have been too dark without this exposure comp, but I think um, yeah, faster shutter speed because the focus is about, it's more like on this bird somewhere. It's just slightly missed. But anyway, I think partially that's motion blur. So we can adapt to that. Let me just crank it up here, crank it up here. Give us 2 pixels, give me about a 10 here. Let's do a pop art. And let's back off saturation some this way. Do some straightening. Not that much. Just want that one rock to be straight, kind of. All right, right there. And this duck is in the way. It's really messing up the scene here. I'd like to crop him out. Maybe this way. Maybe crop out that duck too. All right, so the 4x3 again. Let's go back to 4x3. Let's come in this way. Okay. There. This makes more sense to me. And let's warm it up a tiny bit. Maybe 75. Bit much right there. 72. Let me double check the crop. I can come down a little more, give his feet a little more room. Okay, right there. And last chance for detail. It's going to be tough. So let me give this. Let me put this up to 15. See if I can pull off a little bit of the grit. No, I'm not going to be able to do it with this. So I'm going to try dehaze. Dehaze sometimes, or maybe clarity. No, clarity is going to jack it up. Yeah. So let's try a little bit of dehaze, just to give some more tones. And I'm out of time, but I'm going to push the shadows just a tiny bit here and then pull it here. All right, let's do a before and after. So yeah, unfortunately the ducks are very distracting because they're totally cut off on both ducks are cut off. They're not, or out of focus. So just minimizing it to just the seagulls. Orange is a little bit strong, but that can be backed off later. And then I use this rock here to, you know, draw the eye into the frame, and I use this seagull here to level it so that this base is nice and straight. So it doesn't matter that this is crooked when you have this as a reference, you know, visually, right? But I think that works. Okay. There you go, Matt. Let's do the next one. Wow. That's cool. What is that? That's some kind of tree house. EM1 Mark II with a 50 to 200 lens. Interesting lens. 165, 9, 3.5. Yep, all looks good. Anti-shock, CAF. Treehouse, just a tiny bit soft. Why? 1/200th. Slightly faster shutter speed, maybe. That may have helped a little bit, but let's just add sharpening back in. Turn on, well, the noise filter too, right? And go here. Let's try it. Try a 1 and an 8. Okay. 1.5. There, that's enough. And I didn't jack up the bokeh too much. All right, good. And man, I like the bokeh. It's separated this thing pretty well. I'm gonna do a pop art. I want to bring out all the reds and everything in this tree house. And then I can back off the greens, right? Like so. They are a bit overdone. Crank up the red and magenta. All right, that's good. I think that's good color. And then let's go to about 6,000 here. I'm going to pull the color back some more here. Little dehaze. A little bit of clarity. All right, let's work on the composition. I don't like the sidewalk, so I'm going to crop in off the sidewalk. I'm going to tilt just a little bit. Because the eye needs something. Come off this side. Okay, let me let that render a second. I want to make sure the detail here and the colors are good. Oh, look at this wheel. Why? Hurry up. You can never be sure how this is going to come out till that's done. Come on. There we go. All right, some vignette. It's a little less saturation. All right, I think that's all I can do to this. I may not even need this grass in here. I'm really struggling a little bit with the composition. But okay, I think that's it. After it's, I don't know why it's dragging. Tough, tough, tough. Come on. Oh. Seriously, let me wait just a few more seconds. All right, it's gone. It's not going to work. Hopefully I didn't lose all the editing that I did. It'll be easy enough to get back to it, but let's see. This one. Yeah, it saved some of the editing I did, I think. All it saved was the vignetting. If that. All right. Let me just go back real quick to where it was. We just cropped in here and a little bit off the left, came in down here, threw in a pop art. We backed off the color this way. They back off the greens like this. And then I added sharpening this way, about a 1.5 and a 10. Some clarity into haze, and we'll call it, and a vignette. A little bit more this way. So there's the before and after. After that renders, it's a little bit soft, but when it renders, it should get a little bit crispier. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to really bring out the reds and the wood. It's a nice contrast with the green in the background. And then compositionally, you know, front and center is okay, but the sidewalk is the problem. So since I had to crop anyway, I think going to lower left thirds works fine. Okay. Let's do next. Oh, cool. And wow, this is a really cool looking car. And we can work with the juxtaposition against a modern car. We just have to straighten it a little bit. Let's see what you shot with. You're the M10 Mark II with a 25 millimeter ISO 200 1/60th. Yep, all good settings. Let's straighten it. You know, when I do cars or any structure, when it's crooked, you try to get a line somewhere in the center to be straight. I think that's good. Maybe I did too much. Okay. And compositionally, yeah, I definitely want to keep that red and green together. I may not need the whole red car in, but something like that. And then, believe it or not, a dramatic tone will probably really make this green car pop. Yeah. Now it just needs to be warmer, like 66. Oh, that's too warm. And let's see if we can shine this up a little bit. Add some sharpness. Some clarity to make it crispier. Good. Then I'm gonna darken it. Oops. I don't need to worry about the timer on this one. I'm gonna pull the exposure down, then push it back up with the curves. I'm gonna try and save some of the highlights. Let's just go -2. Let's see what happens. Up this way. All right. I'm gonna go maybe. It's a little bit too much, too busy in the background. I might have to go a tiny bit wider. Okay, some vignette. Maybe vignette will pull that background in. Yeah, that's overdoing it. Okay. And right there. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I've already spent a couple of minutes before I started the timer. Just a little bit push there. And before and after. So a little bit tighter crop, obviously, but mainly because the top of the image is just too busy. A better way to take this shot is using a little bit longer lens. I can't remember what you used on this, a 25 millimeter. I think at at 40 or 50 or maybe 75 millimeters, you could have got in a lot tighter, compressed the scene a little bit better, and still got all of the elements that make the picture interesting, right? So this image, really all you needed was a longer lens, basically. Just to compress the scene so you don't get so much of these trees and bushes kind of taking away from the image. That's the only thing. Okay. But yeah, that's really cool. Really cool shot. All right, we have long exposure here. A little bit crooked. On a highway by a car wash, and then some stars. So I think I don't need a lot of the stars or anything. This image needs a lot of cropping. What did we shoot here? EM10 Mark II with a kit lens, 14 millimeters, 8-second at 1250. Yep, this all looks pretty good. If I want to keep the stars, I'd have to do a vertical, but I'm not sure I really need to. But we'll try. We'll try. Let's work with. Let's get in a little tighter. See what that looks like. All right. That's almost there. It's a little bit here. Another second, this would have filled in nicely, I think. All right, let's do a little straightening. And still not straight. Right there. Okay. All right, I think that works. Now let's work with, maybe just the haze would do it. Let me see. I just want to make the skies a little darker. No, that ain't pulling the skies in, so I'll do it with a curve. Pull it this way, then push this up right there. All right, let's warm it up. Yeah, this light pollution is going to be hard to get rid of in workspace. Maybe some more contrast will do it. Let me try low key. If I reset this, does that? No. The background, the light pollution comes back in. So let me turn off the low key, leave this on normal. Still a tiny bit crooked. And let's just embrace the light pollution. What about clarity? That should bring the stars out more. Yeah. Let that render. Clarity is really good with speculars like stars and things, but it brought in a lot of muddiness too, so let me back that off. Yeah. Let me try the dehaze again. This is a semi-astro photography shot, right? So there's a lot of and instead of warming it up, I'm going to cool the image off and then I'm going to call it there. take off this magenta. Okay, out of time. All right, let's leave it there. So, yeah. It's just crooked. It needs to render, but it's crooked, so I straightened it out and did a vertical crop to keep all the stars and the framing. You know, astro shots, that's the only kind of editing that takes a long time, really, for me, I should say, to get it to look right. And it's almost impossible to do in Workspace. I'd have to really do this in Lightroom to get the sky. Because I'm losing the silhouette of the branches up here, which are part of the image, right? But that's the direction I would go, at least with the crop and the editing. But this picture really needs, like, this image needs like another 10 or 15 minutes of editing, which I don't have time for. Okay, DeMorgan, we'll see you later. Or is Lauren leaving? We'll see you later, Lauren. As always, appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us for a little while and submitting your images. All right, we have a really nice, I don't know, cityscape here. Just needs a little straightening. Orion's belt on the left, yeah. And we have the M1 with a 12 to 40, 2.8160. Wow, ISO's high. A scene like this, oh, who's this, Gilbert? Yeah, a scene like this, you could use ISO 200 and then brought your shutter speed down to like 1/60th or something. Okay, I'm gonna warm it up a little bit. Maybe we can bring some of the color back in the sky. Yeah, just about right there. Just a touch of magenta. And maybe a tiny bit of straightening. Nope, nope, nope. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. Perfectly composed. I'm gonna take a little bit off the bottom. Wait, this looks like a 16 by 9. Let's go with 16 by 9. And this image is a little bit heavy. What is this? This is a little wider. Let's try 16 by 7. 16 by 7. Sharpening, some dehaze, and we'll call it. I'm going to push the yellows a little bit brighter. And push the purples, magentas in the sky, maybe the yellows. Oranges need to be stronger. Okay. So it's still a little bit too bright here on the right side, but it's a JPEG, so I'm not going to be able to do much there. All right, let's call it. So yeah, just a tighter crop. Again, it's like another image I did earlier. It's just too much water for my taste. So I cropped it in to balance the sky at the top and the water down here at the bottom. And then just let the scene play out everywhere else. And then what else I would do is, if I had the raw, I would work on the colors in the sky, because I can see hints of like color in here. And then do a little graduated filter to balance the right side brightness. And then maybe brighten this up a little bit too. I wasn't able to do enough in Workspace, but if you're using Lightroom or something, you could easily brush this in to be brighter to balance out with the brightness on the right side. And that would be it, though, I think. That's where I would go with this. I would definitely brighten up the left side, oranges and reds, and bring the highlights down on the right side. And that would, I think that would look a lot better that way. Okay, let's do the next one here. Oh, flower. Okay, from the back. Oh, thank you, Anne. Yeah, it's one heck of a party crash pad, man. Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Man, I miss going out. Let me let's look at the EXIF real quick. This will be an easy one. EM1 Mark II, 12 to 100. F4, 1/800. Yep, excellent settings. Other than I would probably use a flash to bring out a little bit of side lighting, but let's pop art it. And then let's pull the colors back a little bit this way. Sharpness, turn off the filters. And let's do a square crop. Center it. Just balance out the top and the bottom, left and right. Okay. Looks good. And let's push the midtones up. A little bit in the shadows and pull the highlights. I don't know if those blues work for me or not. Can I shift the hue on the blues? Yeah. Uh, let's shift them. Let's shift them more green. Same thing with this. Let's shift this greener. Yeah, that looks good. And then the purples, bring the saturation back a little bit. Put a green. I need to crank up the luminance here. Maybe the purple down a tad. Give that a little more contrast. Like so. Okay, and let's just give it a little more on the warmth. And then punch up What am I thinking here? Oh, I need to fix that. I went a little bit too crazy on the colors here. Let me squeeze these back in a little closer. That should fix it. Yeah, all right. Close enough. All right, I'm gonna call it right there. All right, so there's the before and after. And, you know, I just wanted the sky to be a little bit more green, minty color to go with this magenta, lavender type flower. And then brighten it up and some contrast and sharpness. And I think that'll print out nicely. Okay, very good shot, Wiley. Very good. Let's see. Let's go to, where's my mouse? Let's go to the next one. Wow, how many do I got here? One. Let me just count off what I got here. I need to get a feel. 2, 4, 4 plus 1 up there. Okay, so about 15 more minutes. Sergio G. Vasco. Wow, this is a new person here. Thanks for sending this. It's beautiful. Beautiful shot. I don't know if I would do anything. And this is a raw. What do we shoot here? EM10 Mark III with a 40 to 150 kit at f8 1/500th. Yep, excellent settings. Yeah, and the TIFFs, yeah. There's 2 TIFFs that I saw. And there might be some other ones, but that's okay. We'll get through them. Let's work on this one. Yeah, this is a pretty good shot. Really, even compositionally is perfect. You know, the people here just add scale. They're, you know, cropping in would be kind of a waste. I mean, I might tilt it a slight, tiny bit like that, and that's it. And then let's just simply work with the tone curve. I'm going to pull in here, push in here. And, you know, just a basic S curve. Tiny bit more warmth for the sand. So we'll go to 65-ish. That's too much. 62. Yeah, a little bit more. And let's add some gradation. And then we can do some dehaze. And a little bit of clarity. I mean, everything I'm doing here now is basically just to taste, because the image was already almost perfect as is. So any editing I do here is not even necessary, really. Maybe some more clarity. Let me see. All right, I'm going to call it there. I don't really need to do much here. So, yeah, just a little bit of an S curve and slightly warmer, which is arguable. I mean, I don't even think warming it up helped. The sand just looks a little bit too yellow, but on the left side, the sand is a little bit too blue. So a little bit less white balance, maybe. But yeah, perfect shot. I think I would never get a shot like this personally. Okay, so I'm not going to jack it up anymore. I think it was really good the way it was. Yeah, we'll need to do that one. All right, this is from Jose Alberto Martin Ortega. Yeah, the sand was a little yellow, right? I agree. I agree, Dave. Um, and let's see. Whoops, what did I do? EM10 Mark II with a 12 to 32. That's the same lens I use all the time. 1/250th, ISO 200. Yep, perfect settings. I have to go very surreal on this and black and white. I'm just gonna pop art it real quick. Yeah, I didn't think so. So let's go soft focus and do a square crop. Oops, timer. Pull off to the left. I mean, the tree's cut. We don't have the whole tree anyway, so I'm just gonna tilt it. All right, let's go with that. Go high key. I rarely do that. I need to go black and white. I said I was going to do that. I'm already thinking black and white, and then I'm like, why does this look funky? Let me take this high key off. Go back to normal. Let's put a red filter to darken the grass. Why does that never darken the grass when it's supposed to? All right. Let's do a green filter. Go really white. Maybe. That is weird. Okay. Let's increase this. No, I don't have anything there. All right, let's go back to the tone curve. I feel like I need to do more though. Compositionally, I'm having a challenge here. These benches are just, and this really strong white here. I'm gonna go really tight. I feel like we don't need to see even all the branches on the ends. Okay. I just want to see, this is the most interesting part of the tree, right? And bring this in, bring this off. You know, Dave, I saw your comment the other day about doing odd, even. I have no idea what you're talking about, doing odd and even. I don't understand that at all. I mean, I get the idea of spreading out the edits, but then you would get backlogged eventually, right? Unless you're talking about telling people just to submit every other day instead of every stream, submit every other stream. I think that's what you're getting at, right? Okay, I'm going to end it here. I'm out of time. But yeah, it's a shame that I couldn't get all of the branches in, but they're too blended in with the rest of the scene. So I decided to just go with the core, the trunk, and the major branches coming out, or vines, whatever this thing is. Um, and then going soft focus to kind of get rid of the background to some extent. So I think a much, let me see your EXIF again. I think what I would do, I would have shot with this lens, I would have gone all the way to 32 millimeters and cropped in tighter, shot wider. Well, you're going to be at f5.6, so go to 32 millimeters f5.6 and come in closer to blur the background out more. And I think that's what I would have tried. I probably wouldn't even taken a picture of this tree at all because it's just too many distractions in the background. But I think that, that would be the next logical approach, right? To a scene like this. And and the only other thing I would do is like just a slight. I think red would look good on. Well, no, blue would look good. Just a slight blue in the highlights, and a little more blue there, a little less here, something like that. Just a split tone, and then yeah, that looks good. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, cool. Nice. Good detail there. All right, what do we shoot with here? We got, oh, here it is, a Nikon V1. Oh, the old V1. My goodness, that's an old camera, but I got a JPEG now. Okay, Garrett. Oh, you were here earlier, Garrett. I think, or in the last stream. So I just need to straighten this, really. Let's go here. Straighten this. Compositionally, we have too much brick. I would just come in tighter. Like that. Get rid of the other bricks. And then pop art it. I might not be able to pop art it on a JPEG. That's not bad. Okay, let's go with that. We'll pull it off this way. And, oh, that's gradation. Dummy. That's fine. What I wanted to do is pull the saturation back a little bit. Right there. A little more gradation. Definitely some vignetting. And where's my tone curve? Oops, that's the blue channel. Wait. Yeah, right in there, then push this up. Right there. And I need to fix the colors. They just look wacky here. I mean, warming it up maybe a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny. Pull off some of the green this way. A bit more straightening. I think that's it. That's all I can do with a JPEG. Some dehaze. Well, let's see if I could sharpen it a tiny bit. If I do it this way, is that going to do it? Yeah, that does it. Right there. Okay. So, with a JPEG, I can kind of minimize the editing I do. I mean, it's It's too warm. Let me back these off. I kind of like the whoops. This green, I need to shift the greens more to yellow. Maybe. Oh, that's luminance. And the reds. There, that's getting there. And the reds pull these back. Okay. I'm going to end it there. The reds are just a little bit still too strong, too much brick. I think a square crop would fix that. So I would, let me just square it off. Come up this way. Yeah, I like that better. Anyhow, there you have it. Not crazy about that edit, but I like the look of the colors here a little better than I did here. Okay, thank you, Garrett. I tried, Garrett. The time I have, that's all I could think of. Let's see, where's the Lightroom? And let's size this in. Close down workspace. And okay, so I need to do this one. This one. This one. Oh, there's a lot hidden in here. I did that one. That. Okay, this one. Oh, that's from before, and I did that one. Okay, so don't need that one. All right. Oh, let me read some comments here. I keep seeing my name pop up. It says here, Garrett says thanks. Oh, hey Garrett, you're still here. How you doing? I'm glad. I tried, Garrett. I'm sorry. It was already a really good picture as it was. So like I said, I just made some creative choices that didn't pan out. And Morgan said, I personally would like to see a few deep edits rather than many where he does the same thing. How about a session for critiquing only? Don't do my edit today. You have had way too many today. I haven't hit the 2-hour mark yet. I think we'll be okay. And see the stream, thanks. And I think we all can learn from his critique or critique and crop. Oh, you guys are very kind. All right, I'll give that some thought. I'll give some thought about, you know, because these editing streams just kind of really took off in a way that, yeah, it's taken me a couple hours, even though I try to keep the time limit down. All right, so there's the EXIF. Let's see who this was from. This was from DeMorkin. Okay, DeMorkin. So we have some dude here. Okay, he's in focus. Got a tiny bit of noise. So let's go to the develop module. I can skip this one. All right, I'll skip it. I mean, I'll just do a quick 30-second edit. I would crop out like all of that, come in here, then go black and white. Pull the blacks and shadows down, highlights down. I'll do a fast edit on this. Heavy vignette, a little more midpoint, feather it some more. And then some grit. Maybe like this. All right, there's a quick edit. Let's go to the next one, but there you go. Let's see. Well, there's the before and after. But okay, let's go to the next one. And we have one. This looks like a Randy picture, but let's see. Oh, Dave Nelson. Okay, Dave. I didn't expect this from you. I'm not sure. I think, see, the lighting is really harsh here. It's coming in right here and just these shadows. And this line here, I don't know. What if I do auto? Auto. Is this a JPEG? Oh, it's a TIFF. All right, that's why. I don't like that white balance. And black and white. Ugh. With these harsh shadows like this, it's really hard to go in any direction, black and white or color. If I can mute it and separate the colors a tiny bit. And I think this is the only place the shadows aren't really crazy. This is just hurts my eyes in here. I guess this is a footpath for horses, or no, these are people feet. People's shoes. So golly. I'm gonna get rid of all of that. I just can't look at that and just go with this line up here. Maybe like that. Let's tilt it. Oh, I forgot the timer. All right, I'll give this 2 more minutes. Straighten this out. And I'm at black and white now, and if I do some I'm just comparing color. I'm going to flip back between color and black and white, so don't stare at the screen too long. Might have a seizure or something. I can't decide between color and black and white. I'm going to go black and white. Let me click auto here. But the greens can be brighter, so can the yellows. Then the oranges. Let's separate. Let's do it this way. Oh, that looks funky. Let's go this way. Um, 16 by 9. Dang it. Where's the blue? All right, I'm gonna call it there. I'm having I could spend like an hour on this, and I don't think I'd ever get it right. Sorry, Dave. It's just the shadows are just way too harsh for me. Oops, let me reset. So there's the before and after. It's not done rendering yet. Let me punch in and render it real quick. There. Yeah, I cannot, yeah, the footprints and everything all going in there are just too much for this picture. So I try to soften it and minimize it, but yeah, nothing, I can't do anything. Picture's beyond me how to make this work. Sorry, Dave. It's okay. I'd have to really, like, this would be a picture I would not take. I'd have to really give some thought about what I would do if I was here, but I can't think of anything. But okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see, we got one here from John Follows. And we have a house, a little bit like Anne's. In terms of the brickwork or the stonework is interesting. And here's the EXIF data, if that helps. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. So we have this really nice beamer over here. The flower pot there. More flowers there. So I think all the action's right here. So I'm going to crop in right there because we got good detail. Yeah, it looks familiar, right, Anne? Let me see if I can make this kind of work. Let's see, all right, that's close. The balance is off though. I may have to just focus in right here. Let me do a square crop. I got some balance here, balance there. Hmm. I'm trying to find a composition. I think, all right, I think I see it now. Do I need that? No, I don't need that. I'll just come in right here. A little more. All right, that works for me. Kind of. I don't like this part. If I come up a little bit more. And a slight tilt. Okay. And auto that. Auto this maybe. Add some texture this way, some clarity. Tiny bit of the haze. Definitely bring the highlights in more. A bit of vignette. And I feel like it can be a little warmer. I may have... You know, when you take a picture of a building and you don't have the door, then I have to look for something else to kind of focus on. Because the door is kind of like, you take a picture of a building, always try to get the door. Otherwise, you know, your eye goes everywhere looking for something to enter. I don't know how to describe it. But I was trying to, I think, yeah, this is it. So great. This is all I can do with this one. All right, is that gonna reset? Yeah. So yeah, I don't have a door to focus on for the buildings. So forget about doing anything with the building, and I just went for the flowers. And I tried to crop so I could get this flower and this flower in, but that didn't look right. So I'm using this wall here to kind of frame the rest of the image. And that's all I could think of for this. No door on this side, right, John? Yeah, I get it. But yeah, this side of the building is not the right side, so you have to find something else to get a picture of. I think you'd have been better off focusing, honestly, somewhere on like this corner here, right? Like this flower pot and these windows are kind of interesting, or the flower in this window. You know, this group of flowers is interesting, but the scene as a whole is not. So I would have, you know, since I can't get the door in, I would have focused on something more like that. All right. Let's see. This is from Dawit. Okay. Um, this has got all kinds of keystoning errors. The problem is when you fix keystoning with people in it, sometimes the people get kind of out of whack. Let's rotate it this way. Okay. Maybe about that. And compositionally, this is kind of an environmental shot, right? You want to kind of see everything in there. And then, oh, my timer. Let's bring up the shadows. Let me click auto first. And we'll push the shadows a little more. Definitely crush the highlights. Yeah, I can't skew it any bit more. I kind of like this, the feet and everything here. But I want to get the whole structure and to give this context. Right? What about black? Yeah, black and white. Jackpot. And because the color, yeah, this blue and this red just don't work together. A little clarity and texture. And the haze. More shadows, less blacks. Oh. don't know if I can come in just a hair tighter. Yeah, just a hair. Doesn't give it much breathing room, but I think that now you can see the skewing errors. So it needs more breathing room, so it's not so obvious. Just brush this out. Some vignette and I'll be done. Okay. Let me give this vignette some thought. All right, instead of a vignette, let's do it this way. I need this graduated tool this way. Invert this. And yeah, there we go. All right, little split tone and I'm done. Let me move this over a little bit more. Push the shadow. No. Okay. And a little split toning. All right, so let me think. Shadows, we'll make those cooler. So just a touch of blues. Highlights, the midtones a little bit cooler and the highlights just a little bit warmer. And then bring this down. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, well, let's do before and after. All right, so there's the before and after. uh, the vignette's a little bit heavy, so I would back that off a little bit more. But that's the direction I would go, sort of a black and white, and keep the entire wooden chair, bench, frame thing there. Just so you know, they're sitting inside of something kind of weird. I've never seen such a thing. But okay. Let's go to the next one. But that's a cool picture, though. I really like that one. All right, so we have a can on a stick from Saeed Najam. Okay, and DCG9, 25, F95, ISO 200. So yeah, looks fine. it's just very busy everywhere. I feel like it's a can on a stick. You have a little bit of a fence here. So it's so busy. I need to soften this basically. So I'm going to go black and white and just pull the texture back and the clarity. Pull in some. Let's go dehaze. Brighten this up. Yeah. And compositionally, I'm starting to see something. Maybe. I need. Not that. That doesn't do anything. Okay. Trying to frame this somehow. This vignette. Hmm. I think that's it. A little more vignette and we're done. Okay. And then black and white. No. Have to have the color because the can gets, there's so much, it's so busy that if I do black and white, the can just disappears in the image. So I have to stay color because that's the only way it's separate from everything else. So let's do a quick compare. But yeah, I think, like I said, a black and white, the can gets lost. So the color could be a little bit less green. So I pull that back a little bit, but for the most part, I think that's the best I can do with this one. Okay. Make it red-orange. Yeah, maybe. But it doesn't solve the problem to working with all the sticks and everything in the background. The can would still just get lost in the image. It's almost like I'd rather have something else in the image other than this can. Like I like this. I like this evergreens and I like this moss growing on it. You know, there's lots of interesting things in this image, but this can on a stick by itself, it just gets lost in the busyness. Okay, so let's go to the viewer edits. I am ready. So if I do viewer edits and select red and turn this off. So the original image, let me pull that up real quick. Is this one, right? So I took this picture at Sky Meadows State Park in Virginia. So if Killowen, if you're watching, this is a great park to go to nearby us. And the only thing I really liked about this picture was the gate being open. It's sort of like inviting you to walk into the frame, right? That's the only thing I saw. I don't know if I captured this right or not. I can't remember. I did a vertical edit on it. If I see one of your edits that look like mine, I'll let you know. All right, so we got, let me maximize this. And this one, wow, this, I don't know why, this feels like a Neo edit. Because he seems like he's back. He was missing for a little, excuse me, missing for a little bit, but he looks like he's back. So oh, that's me. So this is, oh, Stephen Page. Okay, Stephen, good job. I really like how you separated the mountain in the background. It's very blue-green compared to the yellow-green of the grass, and good separation of the trees against the grass too. It's very distinctive. The framing, I'm not crazy about this white framing. It's a little busy, but I really like the processing inside. And then a slight diorama effect, right? You blurred the top and bottom. So this is nice. Yeah, it looks like a painting, right? Yeah, this is crop-wise, this is how I cropped mine. I did crop vertically, almost like this. I'll try and find it before I go. Yeah, this is a good edit. Nice and clean. I'm curious why he blew out the highlights here, maybe to try to create a fog look. Maybe overdid it a little bit up here, but I think other than that, this is really close. Okay, oh, this is you, Ann. Okay. Yeah, it's good processing. It's just a little bit strong up here for me. And this crop, yeah, this is very, very similar to what I did. So you and I are thinking pretty much the same. You like the fog, huh, Matt? Okay. I guess the fog, okay, fog will work if this wasn't clipped to white, right? Then it would look foggy. But because this is clipped to white, it just sort of, you lose that fog effect, I think. So that would be, if you want to do fog effect, don't clip anything. And this looks like a Marcel. Well, I should stop guessing because I just never know. But I really like, you know, this a little point of light here, maybe. I'm not sure. So this is trying to be like a sunset, orange, glowy, reddish. It's nice. I like it. I like the vignette especially. Oh, and DeMorgan liked the fog too, huh? Okay. I like the fog. I just thought it was blown out. This is from A Time Ashin. Okay. Good job. Good job. Good job passing these tones from the sky onto the ground. And a good vignette. I'm a big fan of vignettes, even though most people here are not. Oh, so Anne, you were trying for fog. Okay. Like I said, you were close. Just it needs to be gray, not white at the top. That's all. Okay, this is a good processing. A little bit of a sky. I'm not sure how you pulled the blues in on the sky. It's not a sky replacement. I think you just really pulled the blues in. But it's a little bit, it doesn't match the foreground. It's not a sky replacement. I'm pretty sure it's not a sky replacement, but now it doesn't match the foreground too well. I would make the foreground a little bit cooler or something. Because this color combo is, it's almost there. It's just a little bit too blue in the sky and a little bit too just muddy in this area, like just only this brown. Who did this one? Joni. Okay, Joni. I mean, I like the processing otherwise, but yeah, this you overdid it on the sky, I think. And Dave says, I like how the blues bring life to the image. And then, oh, Jonas is here. Yeah, just pull the colors up there. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little less blue, and I think this would have worked. But I like the foreground a lot. I really like how you did all of the mountains and the hills. All right, let's see this one. Oh, this is a really tight crop. Look at this. I didn't even see this, and oh, that's just another gate. Really tight. So now we're seeing all the texture and everything in the gate itself. So this, yeah, it's always good to see other different types of crops on an image, right? Let's see what we got here. This from Matt. Okay, Matt. Yeah, this is a good crop. It kind of works. And good color processing too. I like how the fence is very, very separate from the rest there. And this one here, let's see. Wait. So you cropped off the left fence altogether, everything left of the fence. Very similar crop to what Matt did though. This was Matt, right? Or yeah, Matt. Is this you again, Matt? Let me see. Oh, Image Rider, okay. So now the grass is very, very green. And then you tried to make these kind of reds. I see the color scheme works. I'm not crazy about this crop, but I think the colors you were going for kind of work. Maybe take out one more color, a little bit of the yellows or something. Okay. And this is my Jeep from another. God, I don't know where you're getting these images of my Jeep. I know I have videos and stuff, but it's a mirror image of my Jeep because it's spelled backwards. Pulled in. You know what's funny is I have a picture like this almost exactly of this Jeep in this same park with me and my dog Riley. I wish I could find it now. Yeah, this park brings a lot of memories back for me with my other dog that I had. And this is the first time I took my dog uh, oh my God, Ellie with me. So this from Jacob. Okay, Jacob, thanks. This image, the processing is good. It's very authentic, I think, and the crop works with the Jeep there. But I like this because it brings back a lot of memories for me of being at this park with my other dog. Okay. Jack, you pulled it from a video and enlarged the sign. Wait a minute. Yeah, this Jack. Okay. And this crop here, yeah, this crop we've seen, everybody's cropping this way, or at least very close to this. This is a little bit higher crop than the last one. Putting the fence into the bottom right thirds. But I like the processing. This is clean. This is a nice clean edit from John. Okay, John, good job. I like when you crop in close, you can see a lot more detail in the trees and the fence and everything. And it just gets rid of the whole idea of a sky being there. You don't really need to see the sky. It was mostly gray anyway. And this one, nice yeah, good black and white. Um, Similar crop. Who did this one? Garrett. Okay, Garrett, good job. Good job separating the trees from the grass. Definitely. And good, yeah, it's good contrast. Good job with the contrast anyway. Um, I like it. Okay, this is definitely Mars. I can't remember. Mars. I don't know. I must be getting tired. I can't remember people's names. Yeah, Marcel. Marcel Van Cotham. That's, yeah, I knew that right away because of the lighting. He's really good at bringing the light in and making it look like, something else. Really cool. Really cool edit. Good job, Marcel. Always with the lighting. And this one here, yeah, they did the same thing John did. Brought in the sky and a little bit lower contrast than what John did. Maybe that's all you need to do, John, is lower the contrast on the edit. Because this works a little better. Now there's not this stark difference in terms of, like, I don't know how to explain it, luminance or brightness between the sky and the ground. Okay, Serge, good job. And of course, nice little vignette, right? Hey, Elaine. Yeah, I knew you fell asleep. I was talking about you at the beginning. I said, I know Elaine, when I got to your picture, I said, Elaine's probably, passed out. All right. Good job, Serge. I like this edit. Okay, and this, oh, I missed this one. Is this Stevens? What you can do with a phone photo. I don't know why this didn't come up. I'll come back to it. Oh, I like this. Very gritty black and white. I like it. And it's a very, like I said, everybody's going with this crop. I did not. I did something like Ann did. Yeah, this is great, DeMorgan. I like the very high contrast black and white. Very good speculars, here in the trees, right here, the trees. I like these speculars in the black and white. And then you still manage to keep all of the tones in the middle too. And this one, oh, this is good. Got rid of this, blew the sky out a little bit, but I don't know, something is very just soft about this. Let me, yeah, that's why. Okay, there we go. But it's still a very pleasing shot, edit. Very pleasing edit, I think. Did this one. This is from Dawood. Okay, Dawood. Yeah, this is very muted and very pleasing. I like the feel of this photo here, or this edit. And I was going to say Dave Nelson, but Dave in the previous stream said he didn't send any flames. So this is somebody playing a trick on Dave. But there's a kind of smoke signals or something, or brush fire up here. And yeah, see, you pulled in the colors in the sky like John did, but you also pulled the colors here. So there is a little bit too much on the grass now. But this balance is a little better, sky and ground. Who is this? DeMorcan. Okay, DeMorcan. Yeah, you did a little better job with balancing. If you're gonna pull the blues in from the sky, you need to pull the grass in a little bit. And I think you're definitely a lot closer there. Oh wow, this looks like if it wasn't for the fence, this could be like a sci-fi type image, or maybe a what's that show? I'm trying to remember. I'm not going to remember, but it was kind of a Western type sci-fi. They made a movie called Serenity. I can't remember the name of the TV show, Firefly. Yeah, this reminds me of Firefly. The show Firefly, if you're familiar with that. This is cool, very surreal. Okay, Demorkin, good job. I like this one. Yeah, Firefly, right? Yeah. And yeah, full-on sky replacement with the two suns. All right, and that was the last of the viewer edits. Let me do this one real quick. Somehow I accidentally threw this into the bin. This is from Joni. Okay, Joni. I feel like you had one today already, but that's all right. This will be an easy one. We need to do a square crop. Come in off the left a little bit to balance it. Actually, I don't think I even need to see the outside. Maybe just do that. And just click auto here, back this off. And pull in more of the snow. Pull this down. Work with the color. Little dehaze. Tiny bit of clarity and texture. And maybe trying to get the snow just right. Yeah. Okay, this is really close. The auto should fix that right up. Yep. And no, the color looks good. Just need more texture. Okay, I'm going to bring in the texture, but then I'm going to pull it off with some noise reduction. Right here. Yeah. And then we'll do the sharpening again, but then right about there. Okay, I just need a little bit more on the whites. Right there. And I'm done. Okay, so reset this. And compare. So there's the before and after. So yeah, you know me, just like with trees, right? I don't like just this little space on the sides, even when I take pictures of trees. So that's why I framed it this way. And then leaving a little bit in the front is okay. And I think it's a nice edit. Get Dave's edit. Okay, Jonas. Was this yours? Oh, this was yours, right? Okay, that's right. So I think, yeah, that's if you took a much wider frame, then maybe having the whole arch in there would work. But when it's this tight, I just cut off the ends. Okay, so let's take a look at the downloads real quick. Somebody said there's more. RT submit. And I don't see any from Dave. DeMorgan, I don't see Dave's edit. Let me look again. Steven, DeMorgan, Dave Nelson, Tiff. I think this is the, yeah, that's the image he sent. Nope. I don't see any. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to do is, so this is the original edit. I'll show you my edit, I think. I took this yesterday, so it's got to be in here. Yeah, this is my edit of the picture. So, uh-oh. So yeah, sorry, I was looking at my stream. It looked like maybe the stream got disconnected, but I think we're okay. So this is my edit of the of that same picture. So yeah, just a crispy black and white and a vertical crop. Really, you know, you guys did a much better job. But okay, let me look. Dave said he sent it again. Oh my goodness, it's almost exactly like my edit. Here's Dave's. Well, it's a little bit more black and white. This is definitely more like you know what this reminds me of is like in a very old book when they used to print black and white pictures in these old books. That's what this looks like. I don't know what kind of press printing technique that was, but it kind of reminds me of like a newspapery or old book type look. So very similar crop. You know, I went square. Yeah, I went square, and I don't know. Anyway, all right, everyone. I think we'll call it there. So thanks for joining me today on my photo editing live stream. It was a lot. And now I understand what you were trying to say about the even odd thing with the editing. Let me give some thought. I'm going to go back and read all the comments you guys been typing, because I know you guys were doing a lot of chit chat there with some ideas for the streams, the photo editing, because they have gotten really long with the editing side. Even though I try to go fast, you know, sometimes end up being 4 or 5 minutes. But okay, I will go back and read your chat comments. So thanks for the suggestions. I'll definitely check them out. Thanks for sending your images in and spending your afternoon with me today. I really appreciate it. And thanks again, Randy, for the super chat donation. It helps me out a lot, keeps me going. So we'll see you guys back on Thursday. Okay, thanks again for being here.